This is Investment Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Daily live streaming interactive. Featuring Mrs. Backup. Subscribe, hit the notification, smash the likes. Now, here's Backup Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to Investment Perspectives, everybody. I'm Brad Kimes. You can follow me on Twitter at Backup Bradley above and the border. All right, let's get into this thing. We've got a lot to talk about because I'll tell you something. There's a similarity or two between SWIFT and DTCC, Deposit Trust and Clearing Corporation, Depository Trust and Clearing Corporation, that is just absolutely exciting to me. The fundamentals are humongous, and this is the stuff that we look for every day. Let's go ahead and get into this. We're going to roll it out, and we're going to take a look at some things from today and a couple things from yesterday that I think really sew it all up. Shout out to XRP Crypto Wolf on this piece of news right here. Let's get right to it and drill down on this. We got a couple things to look at. I think you are going to like them a lot. The Depository Trust and Clearing Corporation has unveiled two new projects, codenamed Ion and Whitney, to experiment with asset digitalization, distributed ledger technology, and asset tokenization for post-trade settlement in public and private markets. Project Ion is an extension of DTCC's ongoing efforts to modernize its core clearing settlements processes. Developed as proof of concept, Project reimagined the public market settlement processes through the application, asset digitalization, and distributed ledger technology. Mari Posmonter says that the head of Clearing Agency Services, Operations, and Client Services at DTCC says Depository is currently engaging with industry to assess market demand. Project Ion is about working with the industry to further the value proposition and accelerated settlement, leveraging new capabilities such as DLT and tokenization or tokenized securities, and to learn how DTC can best deploy the technologies to deliver additional value to clients in the industry, he says. Separately, Project Whitney is a prototype focused on exploring the potential for asset tokenization and digital infrastructure. This is the kind of market infrastructure that Ripple has been talking about to support private market securities from issuance through secondary markets. Again, what they're pursuing is bigger and much bigger than just cross-border payments. Jennifer Pave says, Managing Director, Business Innovation at DTCC, comments, the private markets are ripe for increased levels of automation and a lack of much of the infrastructure that has supported the public markets for decades. Project Whitney presents an exciting opportunity to leverage emerging technologies and develop completely new solutions from the ground up. Both Project Ion and Project Whitney remain in experimentation stages, she stresses, and a decision to progress the projects will be determining following further analysis feedback from the industry. Really great stuff. Over $1 quadrillion. That's right. That's a real number. Over $1 quadrillion worth of processing payments through the DTCC, exploring distributed ledger technology. Okay, here we go. Moving to this piece. Now, this was from 2018. Okay, 2018. SWIFT and the DTCC on how blockchain will go mainstream. This announcement from 2018 shows us that both SWIFT and DTCC have been actively pursuing the distributed ledger technology as a solution, along with tokenization and digitization of the network. So this is pretty remarkable stuff. I'm going to go through this quickly here. So this is the piece right here. So very quickly, no, it won't be through killer apps started by startups. Consortia is rolling out a consensus solution or breakthroughs in privacy security. Rather, it appears it will happen in large incumbents roll out blockchains in existing processes. There you go. All right, now coming down here, because I've already read this stuff, to indicate two events that indicate that the process has already begun. DTCC's announcement that will migrate the post-trade processing of credit derivatives to a DLT system in 2018. That's how long this has been worked on, right? Swift reveals it is launching a proof of concept test to test blockchain's impact on real-time reconciliation and international accounts. I remind you, they are a messaging service. So when it comes to real-time reconciliation, that's something they have to explore with an outside company because they don't currently offer that. So that's huge. All right, now this is again from 2018. So they both come in structural giants owned by their members or users, ensuring buying in from the most of the main sector participants. Both instigators dominate their respective activities. The DTCC is the largest central securities depository in the world, and it provides processing services for 98% of all credit default swaps. Swift, on the other hand, is the world's largest electronic payment messaging system. Used by more than 11,000 financial institutions. Both Swift and DTCC are founding members of blockchain consortium Hyperledger, which indicates an interest in experimentation and collaboration. Both announcements may seem bold and sweeping, but they are actually exercises in caution. Well, they love to walk it back, don't they? The last points of merit are both DTC and Swift plan to combine the new technology with existing systems even after the new platform goes live in 2018. The DTCC will continue to run its old one in parallel. So for 2 years, they've had DLT in place, they're suggesting from this article. And just like Victoria Cleland had said in an article, from the executive director of the Bank of England. That's right, on the other side of the pond. She said it would be a big bang cutover and they would leave the old traditional payment rails in place and the new system would run parallel to that in case they were to have problems, and to allow other businesses and banks and financial institutions to continue to take up the new system because not everybody's going to be prepared to do it at the same time. But the important part is that they have all the tier 1 top tier banks and institutions like the DTCC all on board so they can begin operating using this system collectively in a very small top high circle of institutions. So, okay, let's see here. We'll continue to run its old one in parallel. Swift plans to combine the blockchain under trial with its current identity protocol and public key infrastructure. Both plan to make adoption optional should reassure those members and users who prefer to wait and see approach and allows a gradual rollout across their respective sectors. In neither case are we looking at new innovative services. We're looking at potential improvements on current processes. In both cases, blockchain will not initially be used for actual settlement or payments to migrate systemic risk. The focus will be on the handling and reconciliation of information, not money. Well, of course it will, because they're a messaging service and they're not able to do that within their system and the infrastructure they currently have in place. So slow and steady is basically what they finish with here about pursuing this. But this is 2018. The suggestion that has already been in place for 2 years running in parallel. Can you imagine the amount of information they have been able to collect by running the money through the traditional payment rails and then parallel running a simulation for the last 2 years of how the system would operate? I'm blown away. Blown away. Now, let's take a look at this recent news because this brings us back to current days. Right? Just a few days ago, it was announced that Ripple joins the ISO global standards body on cross-border payments. Ripple claims to be the first DLT-focused member of the global ISO 20022 standards body, driving international standards for interoperability between financial institutions. Yeah, the first. Well, let's keep this going because this is interesting, because back here in this article, you heard the term Hyperledger, right? Where they talked about consortium Hyperledger. Now, I know immediately, knee-jerk, everybody's like, hey, wait a minute, is that us? I don't know, what is going on? Is Hyperledger us? Well, relax. This is an American Express article that really breaks down Hyperledger and Interledger protocol. Okay? And it's very important that we go through this information because this is going to clear that up for you for good. Okay, here we go. Hyperledger aims to create standards blockchain technology. Hyperledger product is a collaborative effort, to define and develop industry standard blockchain technology that can be used by developers to build applications for multiple industries. It is an open source project hosted by Linux Foundation, which is home to many other open source initiatives, including widely used Linux operating systems. Hyperledger product works like most other open source projects. Various companies contribute software code and the contributions are reviewed, combined, further developed to create software ultimately released by the project. Companies that have contributed software include IBM, Digital Asset Holdings, a financial software company that also contribute the Hyperledger name, which it previously owned, a financial software consortium, R3, which provides a distributed ledger design for financial transactions. Hyperledger currently has close to 100 members and more than 100 contributors. Under the umbrella of Hyperledger project are several different individual software development projects, all of which are at an early incubation stage. Hyperledger Fabric project focuses on core blockchain technologies, including support for smart contracts, and is designed to act as a foundation for developing blockchain applications or solutions. In blockchain, smart contracts are agent-like mini software programs that automate transactions when certain conditions are met, such as buying a commodity when its price falls to a preset level. Blockchain Explorer aims to create a tool for exploring and viewing data in distributed ledgers. Another project, Sawtooth Lake, is a blockchain suite from chip company Intel. The Hyperledger initiative is also in the process of forming working groups that focus on the use of blockchain in various industries. Groups have formed around finance, healthcare, and one focusing on supply chains is in process. Now, let's listen to this. Interledger, the Interledger protocol. Listen very carefully because this is going to solve a lot of things for you, and you can be just as happy when you hear Hyperledger mentioned as I am. Connecting a web of ledgers. Interledger is not a distributed ledger project per se. Instead, it focuses on connecting different ledgers. The project centers on Interledger Protocol, ILP, which is designed to enable communication between different international payment systems around the world. The idea is that any payer should be able to pay any payee quickly and at little or no cost without the need for both parties to set up accounts on the same global payment service. ILP originated at Ripple, a software company providing blockchain-based international payment technology to financial institutions. One of the protocol developers draws an ambitious analogy between ILP, and listen carefully, and the communications protocols and formats that allow the World Wide Web to exist. The value is in the protocol. Enabling information to flow freely and instantly around the world. As developers note, the situation with payments today is markedly different. Sending money today within any single payment system is relatively simple, fast, and inexpensive. However, moving money between systems is cumbersome, slow, and costly, if it is possible at all. That's particularly true for international payments, which can take days and incur high fees as they pass through multiple systems and intermediaries, such as corresponding banks. And the problem may persist as blockchain-based payment systems proliferate, since there will still be the problem of communicating between them. To become a standard, ILP would have to become widely used for applications that are not directly connected to Ripple. Its original developer, as a step toward the goal, Ripple made ILP open source, contributing it to the new Interledger project that is now hosted by Linux Foundation. There is also a group within the World Wide Web Consortium, W3C, the web standards organization that is discussing Interledger for payments, which truthfully they have been building on top of the Interledger since 2015. Toward an international blockchain standard, the International Standards Organization, remember them? That's who they just joined. Has also started working on formal standards for blockchain technology. Australia's National Standards Organization, Standards Australia, is leading the ISO Blockchain Committee with representatives from standards organizations in 35 countries, including the USA, Canada, Estonia, France, Germany, Japan, Korea, and the UK. Standards Australia CEO Dr. Brown and Evans said that the ISO Blockchain Committee will develop standards for interoperability among systems. Privacy, security, and terminology. ISO standards usually takes many years to develop. This was an older article, but we know currently Ripple has just joined that standards body as the first to pursue distributed ledger technology. Come on in. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me. There's your connection between the DTCC and SWIFT, both moving towards distributed ledger technology. I would tend to believe, and it is speculation, that it will be Ripple's technology that they're walking towards, especially since we just saw Ripple join the ISO global standards body in the former article here between the DTC and SWIFT, showing that back in 2018, they were both working on the same solutions. Pretty remarkable stuff. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me. If you like the content, please hit the like and subscribe, and I will catch you on the next one.